Hey there, John here with Ricker Creations. How are you doing today? Really? How are you doing? Let me know down in the comments. I really want to know. I know it's been a few weeks since I posted a video, and I do apologize. I've been pretty sick. I'm getting back up and better now, so I'm back in action. It is garden season, and we've got a couple of garden projects to do today. First, we're going to make a garden basket, and it's going to come out of a good old cedar fence picket. And then we're going to make an herb stripper out of some bacote that I got. Let me know in the comments if that's how you pronounce that. Bacote. It's beautiful wood, whatever, however you say it. But let me know down in the comments how you pronounce it. Okay, gang. The first thing we're going to do is kill the brown recluse spider that was crawling across my workbench. And then we're going to sand down the cedar fence picket. This is going to be a garden project, and if you know me, you know I like my garden projects to have a farmhouse look to them. So we're just going to hit it with some 80 grit sandpaper to clean it up and smooth it down some. That's all we're doing here is just cleaning it up with some 80 grit. Always remember to wear your PPE. Okay, guys, that fence picket had a big, huge crack in it, so we got a different one. And I had forgot that I bought this Bauer electric hand planer that we're going to test out today to see how it works. Might save us a little bit of sanding time. I've never used one of these before, so bear with me while I learn. We'll learn together. Oh, yes, that will totally cut down on sanding time. I gotta say, I'm really impressed. That really did clean up pretty good. I did go over one quick shot of 80 grit sandpaper, not enough to really do anything, but that electric planer seems to do the trick as far as at least cutting down on sanding time. I will do a more in-depth video on it later while we learn how to do it. Okay, back to the project at hand. First thing we're going to do is trim off our dog ears. Okay, now we're going to want two 12-inch pieces. Isn't that what everybody wants, 12 inches? Oh, did he really just say that out loud? Do your layout, as you normally do. Check your mark. Alright, and repeat that for another one. Now that we've got that cut, we're going to set our miter saw to about 30 degrees. Seems about right, I guess. And then we're going to measure down 1.5 inches and make a mark on one of our pieces. After we make our mark, we're going to set our mark up down to the bottom side of the saw here. And we're going to try to make it so that our miter saw cuts stops right there at that 1.5 inches. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. That's what you're looking at. I made one of my sides a little bit too short, so I had to sneak back up on it a little bit. But just make your other side match that one. And you're set to go. Okay, guys, now that we've got our sides cut, we're going to take what's left of our fence picket. We're going to come over to the table saw and rip it into 1-inch strips. The object is you want it to be roughly the same size as the flat part of your side. Since it was going to be 1.5 inches, but since I got that one a little bit short, we will reduce it down to 1 inch, and that should still be fine. Okay, let's get started. Well, I woke up this morning, it's drizzled. Mm. Go ahead and check your measurement, and if your measurement is good, go ahead and rip down the rest of the board. And always remember your PPE. Now we're just going to go over them with a quick little shot of 80 grit just to knock the slivers off of them that the saw blade brought out. It don't take but a couple of seconds. First, you got to plug your sander up. Do that with all of them, and then meet me back at the miter saw. Now we have a decision to make. How long do we want our basket to be? I think about 14 inches will be long enough. So we'll cut these into 14-inch strips. So just these strips into 14 inch, excuse me, we'll cut these strips into 14-inch pieces. So lay out your tape measure and measure 14 inches. It's the same as you always do. I do not know exactly how many we're going to need without doing a lot of math, so we're just going to cut all of these up. And if we have some left over, we'll use them for a different project or make a second one. Double check your mark. Okay, time to cut. Now you can use your first one you cut as a guide to lay out your rest of them. After you get them all cut, meet me back at the workbench. Okay, time for assembly. I think we'll just glue and brad nail this one. If you don't have a brad nailer, you can also use your drill and drill you some pilot holes and everything and put a screw in through each one of the slats and into the side. You'll see what I mean here in a minute after I get it put together. But it's going to be easier when you're getting started to set it like this to start out with. Okay, let's get started. Okay, we've got that set up. Put us a drop of glue on our slat. Right at the edge. Rub that in a little bit. Push it up against there. Get your brad nailer and pop you a brad in it. Right like that. Okay, you're going to move everything on out of your way so you've got more room. And you're going to do the same thing with the other side. I apologize for the camera glitch there, but what you do is you do that on each side. That way, that gives you a spot to work from. And then you're going to just start working up from there. Try to make sure everything stays even. Your next one's going to go up about that far, however far that is. About the width of a fence picket slat. So what you're going to want to do is take two of your cutoffs from where you were cutting your slats and just lay them on there like so. And then you're going to set your next slat up like that on top of them, and that'll give you a good spacing. You're going to put glue on your sides. Make sure you've got all the sawdust out of it, off of it. And then just flush everything up there. And then pop some brads in. Remove your spacers and just do that all the way up the side there. After you get 4 from here to that corner, after you get 4 there, we'll meet back up and keep going on the other side. Okay, guys, there's what you're looking for. Your basket should start looking like a basket now. A little bit anyway, as you can see. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to put 3 more slats on this side, just like you did on that one with the spacers. And then it'll be time to assemble the bottom. Okay, now that we have the sides on, it's really starting to look like a garden basket now. Get you a shop towel and go ahead and wipe up any glue squeeze out you have. I tried to make sure I wouldn't have very much, but I did a little bit because I had some trouble with my brad nailer. Okay. Now, time to figure out how we're going to do the bottom. We set the bottom slats on the corner. We can even space them out till they are just about even. You can just eyeball the bottom instead of trying to get a good measurement on it. It'll be easier just as long as you line the 2 side strips up with these corners. You should be just fine. About 4 of them should be more than enough to cover your bottom. So go ahead and put your glue on. If any of you guys know more about brad nailers than I do, my brad nailer keeps popping up a red light on it, and it don't want to shoot, and I don't know. I have to unhook the battery and stick it back in before it'll do anything. I have no clue what the problem is or why it's doing that. See what I mean? But glue and put brads in those until you get across the bottom, and then we'll add the handle. Okay, now it's time for the handles. We've got everything nice and put together so it actually looks like a garden basket. That is pretty. I have this 3/8 inch sisal rope. Is what I'm going to use for my handle. I'm measuring all the way over from the outside edge of my slat, 4.5 inches on each side, and make a mark. And then take one of your cutoff slats and line it up with the edge of the top and make your cross mark, and that way it's an inch low. You're going to need a 3/8 drill bit. The only 3/8 drill bit I can find today is a Forstner bit. So that's what I'm going to use. I will put that right on my crosshair. Drill it nice and easy. Because remember, this cedar is soft and will bust if you smack your drill into it too hard. Okay, after you get your rope uncoiled, you're going to want to stick it in one of the holes. You might have to twist it down a little bit tighter to get it in than what it is off of the roll. You might get lucky and not have to, but I doubt that'll be the case. And tie you a knot on the inside. You could use smaller rope if you wanted to. You could probably use paracord and be okay. Figure out about how long you want it. Make you a cut. Let's see. After you figure out how long you're going to want your handle, make your cut and slide it through and tie it up and then burn your ends so they don't fray. After you burn the fray off of your ends, if you're using a natural fiber rope, you will have to wrap some tape around the ends or put some glue on the ends or something to that effect. But there you have it, folks. A garden basket. Can't you just picture my fiance walking in from the garden with some taters and maters crammed full in that, maybe some cucumbers, lots of herbs on top. Speaking of herbs, we've got another project coming up to do. All right, that was project number one. It's called a garden basket. I think the actual name is garden shrug or something like that, but we'll go with garden basket. We got one more quick little garden project to do. I've got this 1/4 inch by 3 piece of Bacote that I have no idea what to do with. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. Is it Bacote or Bacote? Let me know down in the comments, please. It is absolutely beautiful. So I think I'm going to make an herb stripper out of it for my fiance since she likes to grow her own herbs. It's not going to be super fancy, but I think it's going to look nice. But I will teach you how to make one. Let's get started on this. First thing we will do is cut off a 5-inch piece. Mark it out. Even though this is an exotic hardwood, you're going to mark it out just like you would a fence picket. I haven't really used any exotic woods like this before, so this will be a learning experience for me too. Okay, check your mark. Alright, well, and make your cut. Now we're going to add some shape, round off the corners, not too much though. My microphone died, so I'm having to do a voiceover, but we're just rounding the corners off and giving it a little bit of shape, nothing too fancy. Should be a fairly simple, straightforward process. I like the way that turned out. Should still be easy to hold on to. Okay, now we're going to drill some holes. The way this works is the stem, you put the end of the stem into the hole and pull it through and it strips the leaves off the herbs. My top hole is a 3/8 inch, and then I went down to a 1/4 inch, then 7/32, 3/16, and 1/8. And there's what we have. Now we'll sand it down with 80 grit, 120 grit, and then 180 grit. And then we'll spray it with a coat of shellac to make it look nice and pretty. Okay, I sanded it down to 180 and I hit it with a coat of shellac. What you do is you take the stem of your herb and stick it in there and pull it through the hole, and it pulls the leaves off of it for you. Hey guys, I apologize for the sound. I will be voicing some of this over because my microphone died in the middle somehow. There you have a garden basket and an herb stripper. That's a perfect items to make this time of year. These herb strippers, you can shape them like leaves or anything else like that. They're great little, fun little projects to make. You can make more holes than I did, but there's no real point in it. I believe that will cover every herb that I will have. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's good to be back. I'm sorry I've been sick so long, but I'm back now, and you'll see a lot more coming real soon. You guys have a great night.